Hi, folks, it's Keith here, and I just wanted to get in and give a short description of what this video is going to be about, or what's going to look like, really, more than anything. It's going to be a little rough, it's going to be chopped up. I didn't do a lot of editing, particularly when I'm doing Morse code, which some of it is pretty grim. I started at July the 1st, and the intention there was to get on the air for the first time with the Canada Day contest, and you're going to see how that turned out. It's been a bit of a frustrating journey over the last month and a half, because it's now into August, the middle of August, when I'm completing this. But it's been fun, and it's been a learning process. And as I said, this will jump around because different things happened. Started remaking it a few times, and then I said, really, why am I doing that? Why am I editing all this stuff out? Let's just show it the way it was. And when it comes to the Morse code part, where I'm sending, sort of trying to contact people, I got to tell you, some of that's really brutal, absolutely brutal. And it's an interesting fact when you talk to the instructors, how they say that people who do really well, and when they practice, and then they go on the air for the first time, and it's like you have brain freeze and nothing computes anymore. And your sending basically goes to hell. So rather than keep redoing that to making it perfect, I thought, yeah, just leave it the way it is. There are other people out there, and I see this in the Facebook groups all the time. There are lots of people out there who are having a tough time getting on the air, and they're worried about it. So, yeah, this is what it looks like. You just do it and get it over with, and then you move on. Enjoy the video. As I say, I do apologize. It's a little chopped up, but you may as well see it the way it was. 73. Enjoy. Hi, folks. It's Keith, Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, and also Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Echo India. So, two different call signs, and I'll explain the background on that. The Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, or VE3SVQ, was my original call. And back then in 1991, you didn't really have any choice. They simply assigned you a call, and that was it. Then a few years later, they allowed us to have a second call. And I chose the VA3KEI for two reasons. One, uh, I needed a good contest call that could break through all the noise. And in a lot of contests, you only say your last three letters to try and get the attention of the other operator. And they will hear a couple of letters through the noise. And I found the Sierra Victor Quebec didn't get through as well as Kilo Echo India, which is got a little bit more force to it. So I began using that call for essentially contests. And then I took a look and I decided around 93, 94 that maybe I should actually get some Morse code, or as we call it, CW, done. And I used it to make a couple of calls there. And back then, and same as now, when you first get on the air, it's fairly scary business. It's a little tense. And now you'll be able to see the difference in those two calls when they're sent in Morse code. One is about, I would say, half the number of dits and daws, or dots and dashes, if that's what you want to refer to them as. So here's my old call, just to give you an idea. We'll see if this will come out. So, well, that's that call. It's a lot of pushing that lever down. And here's the other call, the VA3KEI. That's the difference. When you're sending your call a lot, especially if it's in a contest or if you're trying to just contact people in general, it makes the difference when you're doing it by hand. It's at this point probably a more frustrating journey than I would have thought, but learn anyways, right? I mean, you plow through this and you just have to keep doing it. Now, I think the key thing here, everybody's going to learn at their own pace. Everybody has a system that works for them, and it's up for you to find the one that works the best for you. We're all different. We all learn differently. Those of us who are older may learn differently than some of the people who are a lot younger. And it also helps depending on whether you can, type and use a keyboard or not, because that makes a difference as well. So lots of different things go into learning Morse code, or CW as we call it, which is the abbreviation. So where am I in my journey? Well, a bit of a tough slog. I had planned to get on the air for the Radio Amateurs of Canada Day contest. That was supposed to be my first day on the air. That's really what I was hoping to do. Now, the first part of that video was taken back on July the 1st, and here we are now, the 17th of July. And probably what I faced was very similar to what a great many new Morse code operators or ham radio operators face. One, you're nervous about getting on the air. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Everybody goes through that. But when I was listening to the people that I was trying to contact, the vast majority of them were sending so quickly that it was virtually impossible for myself and maybe other people like me to make out their call sign. And of course, you need that as proof that you spoke to them. So listen, as I did for many, many hours, I didn't get anybody sending at a speed where I could honestly say I knew what their call sign was. So that becomes an issue. And part of the issue is the training too, because for the most part, depending on who you learn, or excuse me, where you learn, you're learning around 12 words a minute, well, maybe 15. And that's a much slower pace. And at that pace, you can copy every letter down and so on. Once you get up into that 20, 25, some of them 30 words per minute, you have no time to write anything down. And all you're hearing different sounds, just a blur. There are websites out there that tell you should not the call sign. Do anything less than 20 words per minute. So I was very disappointed in that, and did a bit more research and, followed up on some things. There's an excellent book out there called the CW Way of Life, or Morse Code Way of Life, which talks about learning Morse code and how to do it. When you learn, and we'll give you some examples in a little bit. The LCWO site will send the characters, same sort of basic group of characters that the Long Island CW Club sends. They have a minor charge for you, but it's actually wonderful classes and instructors and very helpful. But they start off now at characters at 12 words per minute, and your space between the letters at 8 words per minute. So the only thing I found when I switched over from the other faster site down to that speed was automatically I started listening for dots and dashes, which is something you're not supposed to do. Now, I did increase it, probably didn't increase it enough. I went up to 18 words per minute to try and see if that helped me, which it helped because I was used to the faster speed. But I probably should have pushed it all the way up to 20 or 25 words per minute. Now, if you're learning the, say 20, 25 words per minute, it's going to take you a while to get all the characters and get on the air. That's all it is. Whereas the Long Island group right now, their main focus is get you on the air as quickly as possible, because people do become frustrated. You can do this month after month after month and get nowhere, and you're still not on the air. And at that point, there's a frustration sets in. And I can say I went through that. So the Long Island group gets you on much quicker, and they do tell you that this is, there are people out there who operate at that speed all the time. And I found them during some of the what they call slow speed Morse code contests. I have found people down at that speed, which is how I got my first contact. But to tune up on a daily basis and just scroll the dial and find all sorts of people transmitting at 12 words, 15 words per minute, I haven't found them. Now, maybe that's the time of the day I go on, to be fair. I don't go on during the workday. So today we're going to try something. It's the K1USN, which is a ham radio organization that twice a week does what they call a slow speed test, or SST. And The rules on this one are no one's allowed to send more than 20 words per minute. And the exchange is relatively simple. You give them your name and where you are, and that's what counts as your contact. So it's not an overly complex one, but it gives new people, basically like me, a chance to get on the air a little bit slower and get rid of some of the jitters and the nervousness and everything else. So that's essentially where we're going to go. So my radio is normally set up with the headphones. I will pull the headphones off so that you can listen to some of the stuff that people are sending and watch my sending, because I'm sure it's going to fall apart just from nerves. But it'll be an interesting night. And like I say, I hope to get one contact for sure. And beyond that, it's only on for an hour. So it's fairly quick. And then we'll just see what happens after that. So let's give it a shot. K1USN SST slow speed test coming up. So that's where we are in our Morse code or CW journey so far. Do have contacts now. And I find that once you get that first or second one out of the way, then you get much more confident and you settle down, your nerves settle down, and it becomes a lot more fun. So you definitely have to do it. And I would suggest for those that are looking to get started or maybe are in the process of trying to learn it on their own, there are definitely good sites that you can use. I'm going to show some of them right after this, so you definitely go check them out. I suggest you check them all out, look at what they offer, and see what works for you. And maybe I'll hear you out there soon. Keith Beardsley, Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, and VA3 KEI, wishing you a great day. 73.